Yo, it's Zeus. Triple H, honest, humble, handsome, straight facts. MAGA faithful. Your time's up, hypocrites, liars. Pack your bags. Straight to hell. No return. Let's annihilate. MAGA to the flames.
Send them straight to hell. Hypocrites crying while your dear leader casts a spell. Racist, misogynist, sedition on the 6 Epstein territory, warmonger, make them twitch.
What about my eggs? What about my gas? Groceries high as hell. You blame Biden, blame Kamala, now Trump's ringing the bell. Tariffs on Liberation Day, I ran war sky high prices. Your lies exposed, no disguises. Zeus sends you to the vices to hell.
Let MAGA straight to hell.
Pull it to annihilate, ring the funeral bell.
Let MAGA straight to hell.
Ring the funeral bell.
You claim the high road, but walk with the worst. Racism in your veins, misogyny rehearsed. January 6th edition, storming like a mob. Further right, Epstein files, birds of the same flock. Warmonger dreams, bombs dropping on Iran gas. Prices skyrocket, feel the pain in every skin. You scream by Biden's eggs, Kamala's grocery cart. Now under your king, inflation tearing worlds apart. Honest, Zeus here, humble but precise. You flip the script daily, living in denial and vice. Most handsome truth teller, exposing every lie. MAGA man slipping, watch your empire die.
MAGA to the flames.
Send them straight to hell. Send them straight to hell.
MAGA to the flames.
Send them straight to hell. Send them straight to hell.
Yeah, Liberation Day tariff, you called it victory grand. Now shelves empty, costs rising across the land. Complaints you heard at the left, now triple under Trump. Gas through the roof from the war that you trumped. Hypocrites unified in selective memory, ignore the facts. Bow to your leaders, felony from border rants to endless breathing shows. Zeus annihilates, expose, decompose.
Handsome, honest, humble, the triple threat complete. You MAGA pawns, scattered, defeated in defeat. No redemption, off your path leads below. Straight to hell's gates where the real fires glow.
Every accusation you leveled at the other side bounces back harder. Can't run, can't hide. Racism, misogyny, sedition, endless war. Your dear leader delivers worse than before. Zeus speaks truth, no filter, no fear. Social media's beacon crystal clear. Pack your hypocrisy, your lies, your disdain. The descent begins eternal flame.
MAGA to the
MAGA to the flames.
Send them straight to hell.
Zeus wins, Triple H reigns.
Honest, humble, handsome, forever unchanged. MAGA straight to hell. MAGA straight to hell.
If you're not happy here,
To hell.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, we are back in the Thunderdome. Let's get this show started. You know exactly what we came to do.
if you're not happy here, then you can leave.
True.
As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country,
Stuck in time.
if you're not happy here, you can leave.
It's like a curse. And you can't escape it. It's like deja vu.
Let's go.
It's deja vu when I'm
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, and good morning, Rick.
Deja vu when
Shout out
I'm
Delilah, CC.
It's like every week I gotta take out the trash.
I'm on top of my game.
Head of the class. You can tell
Good morning,
man,
Tara.
look at my grass. Cars in the garage with tanks full of gas.
Nice to see you all. Disney Mom, let's go. Hot Girl Money. Tech Life. Woo, July.
The algorithm told me to a maniac. I guess we going viral cause my zodiac. I got all these numbers on my spreadsheet.
True.
Benjamin Franklin is my
Tinkerbell.
bestie.
Tech
And
Life.
if they use my ex, that mean they left me.
VIP. I see you. Let's go. You bet.
With my chest cause I mean it. Got a lot
Thank
of
you.
confidence and I'm conceited. Call me the master with a new whip.
Let's go. W, Marissa. Here you go.
I'll tell you what, I haven't gone into Zeus
That's a
in
lie.
a couple of days. That
Drug
shit
test.
was
Keep
radical.
it clean.
It was,
Uh-huh.
it was horrible.
It was? Really?
I'm like, you've gone.
You seen the
Zeus
economy?
has gone way off the
Oh, okay. You must not have heard about the MOU that just got destroyed and gas prices are about to go up, huh?
It's like deja vu.
You never hear about anything Trump does.
It's
All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, we're back in the Thunderdome. I'm your host. I'm your pilot. Once again, we got off to a rocky start, but hopefully we'll end doing a rocky finish, if you know what I mean. WVIP! Thank you for the donut. Let's go. Candy Puffs, I'm sorry. We're back to continue the real work it takes to save the United States of America, one show at a time. And you know how this goes. We end up just going through a lot of the crazy stuff that's going on in this world, being led by Donald J. Trump and his legion of white supremacist supporters of his that refuse to just admit that that's really what's really bothering them and that they're the most violent group of people in the face of the planet, right? And so the way we do that is we go through a lot of the current events, and who better to lead that charge than yours truly, myself, Zeus, or as some like to say, Triple H. Somebody said, well, why do they call you Triple H? And they still ask this question. And I say, well, it's quite simple. And I look them dead in their eyes and I say, listen, out of all these folks out here on social media, I am number one, the most honest person. Thank you, W's in the chat for Rick. Thank you. The most honest person on social media. That's the first H. Never, ever forget that. All right. Anybody that tries to say anything outside of that, it's a violation in this kingdom. The second H is because I am humble. Listen, we cover a lot of, right? We cover a lot of topics, especially right now between Graham Plattner and Nolan Wells. And then just those topics in the Epstein file. It's very hard to, have these kind of conversations. And so I always like to leave myself some room to learn. And that means you have to be humble. Yeah, I'm not one of these people that think I know everything. Oh, yes, I've read the encyclopedia and the dictionary. No. I live real life. I do real things. I understand human behavior to a degree. And I'm always willing to learn something. And so I always say, I am the most humble person on social media. There's nobody more humble than me. If I get it wrong, no sweat off my back. I'll be the first to want to apologize because I've learned that apologizing and admitting you're wrong is actually a sign of strength. It's not a sign of weakness like Donald Trump and his supporters try to make it seem. That's why I have such a high level of respect for former President Joe Biden and his Vice President Kamala Harris. I mean, the way that he decided he was going to put Kamala Harris as his vice president, knowing he had a track record of just very bad behavior, and he put the first black woman on the Supreme Court. I said, and he's done a lot for other justices too, and he's done a lot for the black community. That shows me that, you know what? It's never too late to learn a new trick, right? So that's a W, Zeus. So that's why being humble is important. As much as people want to get on the Democrats, you got to show the Democrats a lot more respect than the folks on the right, because the folks on the right, they'll lead you straight to hell. All right. And that's a very good thing to talk about too. But the next H, ladies and gentlemen, which is one of the most important H's of them all, it is truly because I am and will always remain, you've guessed it, the most handsome. I am the most handsome person on social media. They don't want to admit it, but even I am the Rizzler. W's in the chat for Angie. I'm the Rizzler. Even my own mutuals, they hate to say it. They don't even say it to me anymore. They just say, oh, he's just doing that just to say. No. It's really true. I wouldn't say it if it wasn't true. So to my mutuals that are also haters, stay in your lane. That's a huge W, Zeus. Stay in your lane. Yes, Rick, we are verified. So what that means, we're going to try to continue to do things to improve the show. And I take a lot of that responsibility upon myself, honestly. But in the meantime and in between time, things that you can do to help keep the show going obviously includes tapping the screen and sharing the live, especially to the Trump supporters. Right after every show, it happens. I get all these invites from folks on the right. Zeus, come pop into my live. And I'm going, where were you at during showtime? This is now your time to shine, Mag. Come on up here and tell all of us what thus says Donald Trump, all right? Because you don't believe in Jesus. We know you don't believe in Jesus, or we know you don't read the Bible. Even if you did, you don't even comprehend it. And so with that being said, yes, we're verified, yes. And then, like I said, the last thing you can do is just send diamonds. You know what that is, either to myself or to the panelists that come up. That means a lot too. Or as Kiki likes to say, hit that Cash App. Now we get to get into some of the business of today. Do I have any Trump supporters out there this morning? Anybody out there still supporting El Jefe, so to speak, your dear leader? Because there's people out here that literally equate Donald Trump with Jesus Christ. And shout out to Kabira, because she sent me the video, and I'll show it in just a second. But if you're a Trump supporter, do us all a huge favor and mute Just don't first make sure you're following me, all right? Because the following, I need the following, right? But don't type anything in my comment section while I'm delivering all of this truth. All right. It's designed to activate something inside of you. Maybe that conscious you used to have, it's been dark and dormant for a while, but then you start hearing what I say and it starts to come to life. And then you're going, whoa, I've never felt that. And I haven't felt that in a long time. And then you want to start texting and saying crazy stuff in the chat. But you don't want to get in the box and explain what you're saying, right? Just don't say anything at all. And this show will go so smoothly. All right, because I guarantee you I'm going to hurt your feelings. All right, because I don't hold anything back. Do I hold anything back with these demons? No, I don't. Somebody has to tell these typical victims, they're really victims, right? They stormed the Capitol on January 6th, but who's the victim? I'm the victim. Yeah, I was tricked. I was deceived. Spirit of Adam in the Bible, you were deceived by who? It was that woman you gave. It's the same with these folks. But you're a Christian, yeah. You believe in God, yeah. But you continue to get deceived, yeah. Okay, great. Leave right now because I'm going to hurt your feelings. All right, but get this: you don't got to take my word for it. Listen to your leader.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
All right. And so with that, ladies and gentlemen, the doors to the Thunderdome have officially closed, and now we can get straight down to business. So, you know who we're dealing with in America, ladies and gentlemen, and just a friendly reminder. I got to show you who we're dealing with. This is who this show is designed to trigger.
We are Trump supporters and support Donald Trump. Happy 250th birthday, America. We love being the worst of the worst and scum of the earth for our dear leader.
Yeah. Blagga. We address Blagga on this show, right, ladies and gentlemen?
We are Trump supporters and support Donald Trump. Happy 250th birthday, America. We love being the worst of the worst and scum of the earth for our dear.
We address white supremacists. Yeah, the ones that like to wear the mask. Because you don't want to take your mask off and show us who you really are. So you're not really strong. You're weak. You don't really believe in that ideology. And now we got to deal with these so-called Christians.
And I love President Trump, and anything he says to do, I do.
Anything he says to do, you will do?
I will.
Literally anything?
Him and Jesus, yes.
Okay.
Those are my two top guys.
If he told you to that an election was stolen, would you believe him?
Yes.
If he told you that his political enemies deserve to get arrested, would you believe him?
Yes.
If he told you that all Democrats are scum, would you believe him?
Yes, Democrats.
Democrats.
Yeah.
Because that's his phrase. You're saying it as well.
Yeah, I watch everything he does. I watch it all day long.
You would literally do anything he told you?
Yes. I want to volunteer. I want to be a nurse for him. You
want to be a nurse for him?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Like,
I mean, he needs a nurse.
change his bedpan?
Yes. No problem.
You'd have no problem changing Trump's bedpan?
No, he doesn't need it, but when he does, I'll be there. And you don't have to pay me,
You do change his bedpan for free?
Yes.
You can't reason with people like that. You really can't. Brain gone, body gone, behind gone. And then you want Big Zeus to show compassion. You want us Democrats to be reasonable. I refuse. I just refuse. And I'm a nice person. People say it all the time, Zeus, you're too nice. I'm a nice person. There's a lot of people that have no tolerance. There's zero tolerance, and then there's no tolerance, right? No tolerance means you don't even got any time to entertain this, but somebody has to do the dirty work. What could possibly be going on upstairs? When you volunteer to be the worst of the worst and the scum of the earth for Donald Trump, and then you do it in the name of Jesus. This is what's wrong with America, ladies and gentlemen. We have a group of people in this country, that have decided to forfeit their responsibilities of being decent human beings. I don't care if you believe in God or not. You still should be a decent human being. They forfeited that, and they've just said, I will blindly follow one of the devil's best henchmen, Donald Trump, straight to the depths of hell. Shame on every single one of you Trump supporters. Shame on you. And that's that. Now, what do we need to talk about today, ladies and gentlemen? We have to talk about Mitch McConnell. He's still missing, needs to resign. We got Mike Flood getting booed out there in the state of Nebraska over making up fake claims that the big, beautiful bill is somehow doing great things in that red state of Nebraska. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to show you some behavior of Trump supporters. Yeah, MAGA Demon decides it's time to unload on his wife's grandson because he won't leave the house. These are some violent people. It was sick. I saw Union Gang in a live yesterday, and this one demon got in the box and tried to make it seem like black people are some of the most violent people on the face of the earth. How many people really believe that still in 2026? How many people really still believe this lie that black people are the most violent people on the face of the earth? Because I'm one of these people, and I said, you know, I used to trust the stats from the FBI and the DOJ back when Biden was president. And, you know, to a certain extent, it's really credible, right? But when I've gone through American history, you know, because things are starting to become more racial in this country because Donald Trump's presidency has given the Triple K more permission to be more upfront and in your face and be racist, right? So now we're dealing with this stuff. And I'm sitting back scratching my head and I'm saying, y'all ain't reporting none of the stuff that these white supremacists are doing. Y'all not counting that when you go and count crime statistics, right? 13% of the population, we get it, is black people, but we sure do show up in prisons and jails quite a bit compared to how do we show up and exceed in that category? But then we look at all this crime that these white supremacists are committing, and y'all don't even count it. Y'all don't even count it. So I'm done with the crime statistics. I'm going to go off my gut. And I said, yeah, there needs to be an accurate accounting of what happened when the white people enslaved black people. Because I know they didn't count those crimes, right? They didn't count it as a crime when the white folks did what they did. Even right now, Nolan Wells, where's the crime statistics at? We know that those folks are guilty. You can't tell me that they're not guilty. You can't tell me you're not a little suspicious. Why don't you count it? But they won't do it. So the crime statistics, they're skewed in terms of making black people look really bad and ignoring all of the stuff that's really going on in this country. And who better to get it out there than yours truly, Big Zeus? And we're going to talk a little bit more, I guess, about the Graham Plattner situation. And then we got to also dive into Donald Trump once again embarrassing the United States of America, by just a series of blunders on a global stage. So let's go ahead and start things off with an update, ladies and gentlemen, about Mitch, the glitch. You know who they call him, Mitch, the glitch, so to speak. All right, let's get that out of the way. Oh, yes. Bear with me. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see. Okay, yeah, we're going to do it like this. Hold on. You know, sometimes you get started and then let's see. Scott, I don't want to do that one. I don't want to do that. Is it this one? Yeah, this is it, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. Okay, there you go. See, I know what I'm doing, ladies and gentlemen. Bear with me, technical difficulties, but we're here. Bear with Big Zeus. All right, let's see. There you go. See, look at that W Zeus. It doesn't take long. Yeah, you know, every day I gotta cue things up. And, you know, when there's a crazy morning, sometimes, you know, a little bit behind, but we'll go ahead and get an update.
Desiree Townsend here again outside of George Washington University Hospital, where Senator Mitch McConnell is allegedly still hospitalized. Largely, this is based on his Capitol Hill police presence. So here's what's interesting. Just a few minutes ago, I posted this video where U.S. Secret Service drove past the Capitol Hill police detail that's parked outside of the street here. Now, this comes on the heels of several public statements where people said, including Leader Thune, that they had a conversation with Senator Mitch McConnell recently and that he's alive and conscious. So here's why I think that Secret Service vehicle may have potentially have been sent by President Trump to get to the bottom of what is actually happening here. Because the issue is Senator McConnell had an out-of-hospital cardiac arrest event based on the EMS audio. And the survival rate of an 80-plus-year-old having an out-of-hospital cardiac event and surviving is less than 5%. Now, you take that and you add to it that we have not heard anything from Senator McConnell for over 3 weeks. And the timing of the statements by Leader Thune, I find very suspicious, because we heard from sources that Elaine Chao just recently returned, presumably from China, a day or two ago. So the timing of these statements coming that I spoke with Senator McConnell on the heels of his wife just getting back from China, presumably, into the country, into Washington, D.C., is all extremely suspicious. And then you add to that, okay, if he's conscious, why can't he make a statement? Why can't we see a video? More importantly, why is Leader Thune not calling for him to resign? Let's say Senator McConnell has defied all the odds and he is conscious. Then resign. Allow Kentucky to kick off a special election. Allow Republicans and Democrats to put forward more viable candidates who have not been in the hospital twice in the past few months, both times presumably in the ICU. So for anyone out there, I implore you to keep digging into this story, because I find the timing of these conversations with McConnell very odd. His wife just got back into town, and now
So there you have it. Looks like more cheating coming from the right. Donald Trump won't say anything about it. But you know what they want to do? They want to point the finger at the Democrats only. The right is such a bunch of hypocrites. Where is Mitch McConnell at, MAGA? Seriously. Now, let's go on to our next topic, ladies and gentlemen. This is what I was talking about. MAGA is getting their butts handed to them in these red states. Nothing to do with the Democrats, other than the Democrats have been doing a great job getting the truth out there. Yeah. Showered with boos from angry town hall attendees for supporting the worst bill of our lifetime. I don't even want to call it the big, beautiful bill, because to me, it's a reference to Donald Trump's love for Bill Clinton. And I don't really want to get into all of that. But many of you know what it is. And let's just listen to how the folks that voted for Donald Trump reacted to this news.
Next question is what are you going to do for benefits for all people with disabilities?
Well, under the One Big Beautiful Bill, we protected a system.
Oh, y'all not happy for that?
That if it had gone unchecked, it would not have been long-term available for the very people that are the most vulnerable.
Oh.
The developmentally disabled, the persistent mentally ill, people that are of advanced age.
You get what you vote for.
We protected Medicaid in a bipartisan, common sense way.
Oh, they angry.
That was the result.
Yeah. See, you see, this is the lesson here, MAGA. Your racism, you know, they say racism is expensive, misogyny is expensive. You get it? Because you could not bring yourselves to vote for Donald Trump. I mean, for Vice President Kamala Harris. You got Donald Trump, right? And now look at it. You're suffering. I've always said this. All of the Trump supporters, they are going to suffer the most at the hands of their dear leader this time around, because they don't understand that Donald Trump is doing everything in his power to destroy you. All right. So let's move on to our next topic, ladies and gentlemen. And I told you I was going to do this every now and then. I feel like there's times we need to bring up MAGA behavior on this show, because I got to shatter this myth or this narrative out here that, it's the black and brown people that are doing all the crime. Usually, when you look at this, it's always the folks right under your nose, especially when you're talking about the conservative species, that commit the most craziest, insane acts. TikTok for educational purposes only. And to the audience, there might be a little bit of a trigger warning. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but I just want you to get a dose of what's really happening in America and why you shouldn't get with a person that supports Donald Trump, especially the men.
911.
I just shot a little son of a bitch in my house.
You did what?
I just shot somebody.
You shot someone?
Yes, I did.
Where are you at?
15648 Road 1037.
Okay, why did you shoot someone?
I told him to get the hell out of my house and he didn't leave.
Who is it to you?
What?
Who is he to you?
He's my wife's grandson.
And that's that, ladies and gentlemen. That's that. Think about this. We're living in a country where these violent thugs, let me go back to what I was doing. We live in a country where there are unhinged conservative white guys running around like that. And then they get upset and they say, oh, Carmelo Anthony, he should have done X, Y, and Z. And, and there's the black woman in Florida, the white guy was walking up to her. He was a veteran. And then she laid him out. You saw that? You remember that woman? And now they're trying to charge her and say, oh, you committed a crime. Again, y'all just love throwing crime statistics at black people. But you didn't see it as a crime when he was walking up on her. Black woman by herself. Crazy white guy walks up. Scariest thing in the world. You've seen these scary movies? Every scary movie for a black person. That's a real scary movie. When you're all alone, imagine, and then the law's not on your side, and then you got this crazy unhinged person. He did this to his wife's grandson. But you want to turn around and blame black and brown people. You want to talk about crime in inner cities. No, I want to talk about the crime in your living room. And I could go deeper, right? How did you end up with this guy? Because I used to be I still am the love guru. Listen to me, ladies. If you are dating a man and he still supports Donald Trump, run for the hills. You got to. Why? You don't got time to play any games and figure out if he's a good person or not. You don't. Because the biggest issue is Donald Trump is all over those Epstein files. What kind of man knows that and still supports him? That tells you he doesn't respect himself. And if a person doesn't respect themselves, they can't respect you. They can't love you. W. Zeus. I just thought of that. If someone doesn't respect themselves, then they can't respect you. It's not in them. Yeah, if you respect yourself, you can't support bad candidates. That's why we're having it. That's why we're having an issue right now in the Democrat Party with Graham Plattner, right? How did a lot of us end up going down this long path to get to this point? And yeah, now it's a question about, do you respect yourself or not? If you respect yourself, you just can't get behind people are doing wrong. All right, W. Zeus, thank you. And so I had to say that. I'm not going to play the whole thing because, we could get into some trouble. And so speaking of Graham Plattner, this is another alarming issue right here, ladies. This is a real alarming issue as far as I am concerned. Let's see. So these are, and Fox News did this. This is a hit job from Fox News, but the list of Democrats who claim to have been
and those
supporting,
Democrats are
the list of Democrats calling on Graham Plattner to drop out.
now changing their tune after the latest allegations against Graham Plattner. That includes once ardent backer and fellow socialist Bernie Sanders. He said in a statement, quote, "I have spoken with Graham Plattner about the best path forward for Maine. In light of these very serious allegations, I have recommended that he step aside." Notice. See,
the word recommended doesn't sit well with Big Zeus. So Bernie Sanders, I'm going to go ahead and give you a round of boos. Yeah, we're way past recommended, champ. We're way past recommended. I'm disappointed because I know Bernie. This is just me. I could be wrong. And again, I'm the most humble person. But I said to myself, now what if this was a black guy in Maine? You see how I went there? What if this was a black guy in Maine and all this smoke was coming down the pipe about all of his conduct? I know for sure it wouldn't have got this far. And I know for sure Bernie would have been saying, I demand, I demand you, not recommend, this needs to be escalated. I demand. Bernie, I need you to get on your knees and ask for forgiveness. Seriously. See, I'm not afraid to actually call it out on either side when it comes to the racism stuff. But I understand also that with the Democrats, the chances are we're going to get more justice. All right. But at the end of the day, this is very alarming and it is very, very concerning, ladies and gentlemen. So Bernie Sanders, you got to step it up and do the right thing. All right. Now, this was a good thing CNN put together, and this is a lesson to the Democrats.
We should be asking a lot of these Democrat voices, why did you stick with him initially? Why did you stick with him after the second scandal and the third scandal and the fourth scandal? Why was the Nazi tattoo not enough?
Right.
Why was making fun of rape victims or making jokes about rape, why was that okay? Why did you guys dismiss the New York Times story simply because the victim in that case was a Republican? Like, those are legitimate questions that the Democrats decided did not need to be adequately answered because they wanted to win in Maine and they thought this was their guy.
Yeah, and I just want to take a moment to just give voice to the first woman who made these allegations, Lindsay Fiffield, and she spoke to Jake Tapper today, and she talked about what it meant to her to hear the other woman, Jenny Rassicot, come forward also this week. Listen to just how she described.
So the lesson here, ladies and gentlemen, it's really simple. We got to do a better job at vetting candidates. Where there's smoke, honestly, there's fire. And after thinking about what we had a very rich conversation about this yesterday, and I'm of the mindset, I said, you know what? It's always about racism and misogyny in America. So the misogyny stuff that he has going on, bad, very bad. The racism stuff he has going on, very bad. It's too much to deal with. Too much to deal with. Should have never went this far. And I firmly believe if he would have been black and he had all of this stuff, they would have shut this down 6 ways from Sunday. All right. So that's a W, Zeus. Do better. And to the people out there voting, do better at vetting candidates. Listen, someone once told me, people who are lonely and desperate, they fall in love really quickly. All right. And I get it. We're at a point in America right now, especially with Trump in the White House. Listen, if they say the right words and it got a nice beat to it, hey, I'm getting up, I'm dancing. I get it. But you got to be careful because you could literally be dancing all the way straight to hell. Because now it's like, well, what's the difference between you and MAGA? All right. You got to be careful out here, ladies and gentlemen. You got to be careful. All right, moving it along, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about Nolan Wells. All right, and we got to go through and get some updates on this young man who we all know what really happened.
This morning, the desperate search.
W. Chris with the Viking hammer. Thank you.
Answers in Mississippi after the death of 18-year-old Nolan Wells. Authorities recovering a body believed to be the teen. Investigators and volunteers from the Cajun Navy spent the weekend urgently searching for Wells after he vanished from Horn Island on July 4th.
Nolan Wells was on a boat. He left from a private dock area in the Ocean Springs area and proceeded with his friends to Horn Island.
Wells was visiting the barrier island 10 miles from the Gulf Coast, boating with friends, last seen about 3 p.m. Saturday.
They left and went back without Nolan. From what we understand, he chose to stay there.
Later that night, when he didn't return home, his mother reporting him missing to police, then quickly taking to social media, posting pictures of the teen, pleading for help finding him. The heartbreaking discovery made about 8:45 Monday morning when authorities say the Mississippi Community College wide receiver's suspected body was found in the water just off the shore. His mother writing, "His father, our family, friends, and I are absolutely devastated," describing Wells as a sweet son who was always willing to cheer and uplift others. Now, investigators say they suspect he drowned, but they're still interviewing friends who were with him as they work to pinpoint what exactly happened.
That's why we're still asking for information if anybody has anything, any knowledge.
And that information. No. We're past asking for information. Put them in prison. Put those thugs that were with him in jail. I promise you, folks will start squealing. They'll start squealing. Oh, I got to live in jail like this until I give you some information. Yeah, do it. It's the right thing. But I'm not shocked. This is why I get on Blagga, especially. Blagga, you help create conditions like this because, listen, you thought the Civil War was so far away from you, and you believed those lines. Oh, Morgan Freeman, if you just stop talking about racism, like, it'll go away. And then you look up now. They done gerrymandered you out of position. Yeah. I'm like, what is going on in the South? I can't even get a break. I can't even focus on Donald Trump and all of his corruption because I remember now. Donald Trump gave a bunch of white supremacists permission to act a donkey. And that's exactly what they're doing. And so now you got to go and deal with stuff like this. Somebody sent this video to me, and I said, now this is something that, we had a conversation about on the show yesterday about being the only black person in a white space and how dangerous that stuff could get. All right. Especially now with the Triple K showing their horns. And this is a good video. And it's a FYI.
Let's get going again. We got this.
Oh, let me give you some context before I hit play. This is a white family rowing in a river, and they find a young black man stranded by himself. And you can hear his white friends basically telling him to swim across the river. And he's saying, I can't swim. And they think it's funny when it's really not. This is a life-threatening situation. It's similar to what a lot of us feel happened to Nolan Wells. But these are those moments. These are these moments where you say, I understand why Carmelo Anthony had to, defend himself, why he felt his life was threatened. Because when you go through stuff like this, it is very, very, very traumatic.
How dare you call it cool, Daddy? A lot of people have coffee in their houses rather than the
Yeah, they're probably jumping.
What did he say that for?
We said that word, so I'm glad you can hear that from a mile away.
It's like, ah!
No, that was, see how fast it's going? Imagine if the thing was freaking...
Ah!
What did you just say?
In the water.
They're mocking him. He's a grown man. He should learn how to swim.
You can swim down, River, you fucking retard. Bro, how am I gonna get you back home? You don't think Mama Marquise is gonna be worried? Yeah, your mom. My mom's name. My dad's your mom is always worried about you. My dad's in prison. I think that's why. Your dad's in prison. We know. We can tell just by looking at you. Bro, we get you can't swim. Bro, just go get a kayak. I'll just wait. Fucking life jacket on, Marquise. I'll just wait. Bro, you have a life jacket. Bro, I'm black. It doesn't matter. It's not gonna save me. Bro, yes it does. Bro, I'll just find a way. Hey. Hi. Yeah, they think I'm about to swim back, but I can't swim. Bro, you have a life jacket. I'm gonna die. Standing right
Hold on.
You have to go.
I'm just trying to get over there. We taught him how to swim. Oh, so I can just hold on to the back of the
Stay here if you want.
Yeah, I might drown.
You won't drown.
You won't drown. You're not going to drown. I promise you won't drown.
There you go.
Thank you.
What's your name?
Huh?
What's your name?
My name is Marquise. Everybody calls me Mark because I go to the Denellen.
Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was okay getting over here. And they think I'm about to swim back. I can't even swim.
Good job right now.
Probably around 4 minutes. And it's my first time here.
It's your
first time? Well, welcome.
Yeah.
How'd you get over here?
Yeah, what
they
happened?
made me take that way over there, and they had 2 life jackets on. I'm never coming back with y'all.
We told you if you're coming, we had a life jacket. A life jacket. This ain't even for a big kid. This for a little kid. Oh my God.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I'm never coming back with y'all.
I don't know what to say.
Fuck, his friends are fucking assholes.
I wonder how old he was.
How many of you think that his friends should be charged with attempted murder? Because that's what that was, in my opinion. Those are not his friends, number two. But I also got to say thank you to the white folks that actually saw a black man in distress, a young black man in distress, and you did the right thing. It's just proof that you can't honestly say it's all white people. But for the most part, this is the concern we have. Yeah, you leave with people you think are your friends, and they think it's funny to watch you literally say, hey, I'm not comfortable doing this, but it's funny to them. And this is why I say you got to be careful about who you pick to go and do stuff and hang out with. And if you're the only black person, there's two things, right? If you're a white person, you should, if this person is really your friend, you should honestly look out for them. And then you hear the black guy going, oh, you're being a white savior. Yeah, blagger. Yeah, because obviously you don't understand the environment you're in. Number one. So then number two, you got black folks. Listen, don't let yourself get talked into tricky predicaments out here, all right? If it looks scary and it smells scary and it tastes scary, then doggone it, it's scary. That's lesson from Big Zeus. Especially while Donald Trump is the president, all right? His DOJ is actively propping up these triple K affiliated organizations. If anybody black is telling you otherwise, they're not black, all right? It's like what Joe Biden said. And this is why I say it's now transcending just politics. Now we're having to deal with these kind of issues on a regular basis, misogyny and racism. That's why I say if you're a Trump supporter, I already know why you did what you did in that voting booth, because you could not bring yourself to vote for a woman, a black woman at that Vice President Kamala Harris. She was qualified. So you can't say, oh, her qualifications, because she's way more qualified than Donald Trump. But I understand what we're dealing with right now. You hate it that I bring it up, but I'm going to continue to bring it up. Here's another person explaining what happened to Nolan Wells. All right. I mean, I play these because some people think Zeus's rhetoric is, they think that I'm radicalized. I'm not radicalized. We just call it like it is.
Fucking bitch is how many black people.
Here goes.
Fucking bitch is how many black people have been found hanging this year. I do not find it funny. I do not think this is a couple one-off occurrences. I do not think it's funny that all these white supremacists marched on Washington on July fucking 4th. I do not think it's funny that black people keep being found dead or missing when they were with groups of white people. I do not think it's fucking funny that we keep finding black people hanging from fucking trees. I think that if you are a person of color, you need to be carrying something to protect yourself at all times. In Georgia, we are a constitutional carry state. Whether you have the right to bear arms or not, you need to be carrying something to protect yourself. White supremacists are out in 2026 like it's fucking 100 years ago. And while it's not all white people, it's enough. It's fucking enough that you need to be very cautious interacting with white people. And I personally am going to make sure that I'm having these hard conversations about uncomfortable topics that are happening in this real-time, real world with my family members that are people of color and with my white family members.
Oops. Hold on.
Fucking bitch. Carry state. Whether you have the right to bear arms or not, you need to be carrying something to protect yourself. White supremacists are out in 2026 like it's fucking 100 years ago. And while it's not all white people, it's enough. It's fucking enough that you need to be very cautious interacting with white people. And I personally am going to make sure that I'm having these hard conversations about uncomfortable topics that are happening in this real-time, real world with my family members that are people of color and with my white family members. That if you see some sketchy shit, you step in, you step up, you use your white privilege to let them leave safely. Please be fucking safe. It is not safe in America in 2026 for people of color.
Agreed. I'm Zeus, Triple H, and I approve that message. I mean, this is what we're dealing with. Now, this video, I can't play it all because it's kind of lengthy, but when this whole situation went down, I suspected there was a woman involved, a young lady involved, perhaps, because when you're Triple H, when you're the Rizzler, I've been in spaces. Let's go. W's in the chat for Kamira. Let's go. Thank you. Wow. That's what we're talking about. Getting them diamonds up, I see. Diamonds dancing. But yeah, I knew it. And I can share a story real quickly, and then we'll play this clip. Let me go ahead and share a story. I'll do it. Because can I be real with you all? Can I be real with all of you? Can I have a real sincere moment? I grew up, many of you, I tell you, in a red state, Idaho. And a lot of my friends, I even have people I consider brothers, they were white. And that was the way of life. And I learned a lot in that moment of my life before I came out to the California Bay Area, where a lot of you might say, well, Zeus, you became radicalized. No, I became a well-rounded individual. But one thing I understood was the insecurity that a lot of young white guys have when they're around black men, young black men. And it has a lot to do with, obviously, look at me, I'm the Rizzler. And that's no offense, because I've seen there's men out there, white, different nationalities. You can have it too. It's not restricted to one particular group, but I understood early there's a lot of jealousy going on, right? You know what I'm saying? A lot of people getting real jealous of, oh, she looks at you and she smiled and this and that. And if he was interested in her, that he's not going to come out and say it, because, we catch him and then we'd say, hey, you're being a hater, and that's a sign of weakness. You're jealous. That's insecure. So they do little sneaky things. You know what I'm saying? They do a little sneak dissing. They do a little of that, try to sabotage you on the under type of conduct. I mean, that happens even within the black race too. But what I pick up on it very well. And I do understand that, especially if it involves who they perceive to be their women, right? The white. So, and I looked at the situation, and I didn't want to speak it into existence, because I really want his family to just kind of go through the process of dealing with this. And I don't want to get in the middle, but something told me this had to have involved. This had to involve what was the bottom of it? What started this, right? And I said, most likely he probably was getting way too much attention as a football player. You know what I'm saying? Folks start getting insecure. I've had many Trump supporters, conservative men, come on my show. One of them cried about Brother Jamal. Remember that guy that came up on my show? I didn't make the basketball team. This is a conservative white guy. But Brother Jamal made it, and I practiced more than Brother Jamal. And ever since that moment, he's had a problem with black people, black men. So these things start at a very, very young age. And I could imagine they're out there in the boat. And then you get a little alcohol in you, and the real stuff starts to come out. And he's all of a sudden realizing, I'm outnumbered. I thought all these people were my friends, but they're loaded. They're saying a bunch of crazy stuff. They're calling me out. And it probably had to do with some woman, young lady, giving him some attention and making all those other men, one of the guys there that thought she was his, because, they're really possessive. Oh, I just can't, because the families that they come from, mom and daddy might be racist. It eventually it just percolated to the top, and it exploded. And you had young men doing foolish things, and the consequence of that is where we're at right now. But I suspected this, so I'll share this video with you, because I do believe we really do need to get to the bottom of what set this thing into motion. And was it a setup from the moment they decided to go pick him up? Yeah, we're going to get him this time. We're going to trick him and get him out here and do him like this. Let's go. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my goodness. Oh, wrong one. There we go.
Nolan Xavier Wells is an 18-year-old college student. He went missing on the 4th of July after partying with his friends on Horn Island, and there have been so many questions, speculation, and how did this happen? Things are slowly starting to make sense. So we're just gonna talk about it. I'm very scatterbrained, so I'm trying to get all of the thoughts out. It's just, there's a lot of moving pieces. This right here is Katie McCormick. Katie McCormick is one of the people that was around Nolan on the 4th of July. I've been reading a lot of comments on Facebook, and all of these comments are from people that know that. They either know Nolan, Katie, one of the boys, a mixture. Yeah, as we know, people say a ton of things on the internet, so I just want to make sure before I put things out that I actually believe this to be true, because I don't want to share anything that is, unhelpful, messy, disrespectful family, anything like that. There are a lot of posts saying that Katie is his girlfriend. That's not true. Many people that were there that day have stated that Katie and Nolan met on that day. They met on that day. Nolan came with his people. Katie came with her own people. They met because it was this huge party that was happening in the water. This is a comment on Facebook from Ashton. Ashton knows Katie personally. I'm going to let y'all pause and read. What Ashton is saying is that Katie is a genuine and sincere person, that she hasn't really played a part in this, did not meet him until that day. Ashton continued, if anything, everyone needs to be questioning the friends and definitely not Katie. I personally sense genuinity behind this comment. I looked at their page. They seem to actually know each other. This is another person who knows Katie personally. She said, I know Katie since she was in 4th grade, and her story is literally the only one that hasn't changed. Now that line kind of sat with me. The only one that hasn't changed. So whose story changed? Then she asks, who was on the boat with her that can back her up and vouch that she was with them the whole time. Grace goes on and says that Katie has made a full statement to police and Nolan's mom, and he didn't see him physically get back on the boat, but she saw his friends telling him to get on the boat, but everybody was in the water. And I've seen videos, there was a lot of people. I'm sure she doesn't know the exact time, but what I do know is Katie's story is the only one who hasn't changed at all this time. She told the cops and the mom the same thing. So she reiterated the fact that her story hasn't changed. So whose story has changed? I found this very interesting. And again, this is somebody who personally knows them. Grace goes on and she says, the boys also stated they came back and realized that he didn't ride back with somebody else. They then stated as well too, a different story, is that he stayed behind with Katie. So which one was it? Did he stay behind with Katie? Or was he supposed to be on the boat with y'all and y'all didn't realize that he came back or didn't come back? She goes on and
So, I don't like to get into the speculation. I don't know who Katie is, but it tells me at least this is a person out there, Katie. And it just really sends me off to that direction. And I say, so were these some young white conservative kids, family is well connected to the judicial system, that decided that this was their opportunity to go ahead and do a brother in because he got at one of their girls? That's just how I see it. I really see it that way. Because he had a very, very promising future. Someone sent me this video, and I appreciate the honesty in it. All right.
Nolan fucking well. What in the actual fuck is going on down in Mississippi? So listen, if you got a little time, let me walk you through this shit, because this shit's fucking wild. I try to stay out of it until you get all the details, but since they're circling the fucking wagons and refusing to help authorities, I'm gonna tell you what I think's going on. This picture right here, you will see Nolan and 4 of his friends that went on a boat party on July 4th. Only 4 of them returned without Nolan. His cell phone back to his mother. What the fuck? Claiming they haven't seen him since 3 p.m. These people right here remember seeing them partying and throwing beer cans and causing a ruckus and starting fights all the way up until 7:30 p.m. You want me to believe a friend of yours that you've known for years goes missing in Mississippi for hours and hours and hours, and you not only don't look for him, but then you go home without him, without calling the cops, and you just bring his phone back to his fucking mom? And then there's this video right here. Did you hear it? There is clearly an argument going on shore where they clearly say, fuck you, motherfucker, you're not getting on the boat. Even though they didn't have time to call the police or start an investigation right away, they had plenty of time to deactivate all their fucking social media. Not to mention, these little fuckers' parents are judges, doctors, and other high-ranking members of the community. Let me see if I can play out what exactly fucking happened here. Noah goes out on a boat with 4 of his friends. There is some sort of argument on shore. If a fight ensued, took him back out on the boat. I allegedly believe they did something to him. Then came back to the same spot they were in, partied all the way past 7:30 p.m. Have witnesses saying you were there, remember? Then brought his belongings back to his fucking mom. Look, I hope I'm fucking wrong here, but things aren't adding up. None of it makes fucking sense. None of it adds up to something benign happened. We all need to be saying his fucking name. Even if they didn't, fuck each and every one of them for abandoning their friend, not even searching for him so that they could drink and party the rest of July 4th away. Be careful who you...
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. There you go, ladies and gentlemen.
Nolan... abandoning their friend, not even searching for him so that they could drink and party the rest of July 4th away. Be careful who you choose for friends. I promise you, the only way a snake can fucking bite you is if it's right fucking next to you. Rest in peace, Nolan.
Those suspects need to be apprehended immediately for what they have done to Nolan Wells. I don't need any more evidence to conclude there was foul play and they were the suspects, all right? So, yeah, this is where we're at in America. And once again, thank you, Blagga, for advocating your duties and allowing this stuff to once again creep up because your hatred towards women. Blagga, I mean, I can't put it all on them, but I put it on them because it's really unforgivable. Your hatred for women, black women in particular, you've now put the South back really quite a bit. I hope this is a wake-up call for Blagga. Enough is enough. Stop playing games. All right, now I got to move it on because we're running short on time, but it's just going to be real quick, ladies and gentlemen. All right, W Zeus, by the way. W Zeus. I just want to call this out because I know that we have people out here who still worship this demon right here. Just listen to him refer to Iran as the Islamic Republic of Japan. All right, just these are just quick clips just to show you how incompetent the racist person running this country is.
11 missile shot by the Islamic Republic of Japan. They were
what?
At the aircraft carrier over a period of about 1 hour. 111 missile shot by the Islamic Republic of Japan.
That's just one. He calls the Obama nuclear deal instead of saying it's the JCPOA, he calls it the JCPOC.
Country. They picked the wrong country. JCPOC. What a terrible deal. I call it the Obama nuclear waste deal because what he did with that deal is he caused tremendous hardship in the Middle East. It was a terrible.
Okay, so and then the last one is him actually calling President Zelensky Putin.
Do you have a question for President Putin, please? Do you have a question for President Putin? Not Zelensky. Putin. Yeah, what would you like to ask him? Because I'm going to ask him that question.
I have a question. Last year
Do you have a question for President Putin, please?
So that's the updates for today, ladies and gentlemen. And obviously, there's a lot more that we can talk about. But one thing is for sure, Donald Trump and his supporters, once again, I've proven it. They are truly the worst of the worst and the scum of the earth. So that's a huge W, Zeus. Let's open up those boxes. Yeah, so didn't I just prove to you that all of the stuff that I was saying at the very beginning about MAGA was true? Didn't I just prove it right? Didn't I show it to you at the beginning?
We are Trump supporters and support Donald Trump. Happy 250th birthday, America. Remember? We love being the worst of the worst and scum of the earth for our dear.
Yeah, it's true.
We are Trump supporters and support Donald Trump. Happy 250th birthday, America. We love being the worst of the worst and scum of the earth for our dear leader.
All right, W's in the chat for Zeus. I told you, there's people getting triggered right now. Maybe you didn't hear it at the top of the show.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned,
Yeah.
if you hate our country, If you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time,
Yeah.
very
You
simply,
know you are.
You can leave. You can leave right now.
Wouldn't it be so nice?
Come back if you want. Don't come back.
W's
It's
in the
okay
chat
too.
for Rick. Let's go.
But if you're not happy, you can
All right,
leave.
ladies and gentlemen, that concludes my monologue. Let's open up those boxes and hear from those of you who are brave enough to get in the box and honestly tell the truth. Because I really do love hearing from every single one of you. And if you're a Trump supporter, I will listen to you. I will set aside the hatred. Okay, I shouldn't use the word hatred, but I'll set aside some of the anger and allow you to do something that I've been asking you to do for a long time. If you can bring us that evidence that Donald Trump is actually doing a great job, I would really, really greatly appreciate it. Other than that, do us a favor and sit your special behinds down and listen to this special broadcast. Thank you, Stacy. Thank you, Stacy. All righty then. Let's see. Who do we have this morning? Uh-oh, we have Brother Nutty. My man. Good morning, Nutty.
Yo, good morning. So I have a simple question. Where is Osa?
Oh.
Where is Dame?
Oh.
Where are all these people who got up in these boxes over the last year, that got up in the box over the last year, defending everything white supremacy? Where are they today? Where are they?
Destroyed.
Because my heart is broken. Time and time again, we are seeing people who look like us being sent to an early grave. And then for the authorities to say it was suicide. Black people do not strange fruit. We don't do it. We don't do it.
Facts.
Why is it that we cannot get the same level of attention, the same level of justice as our white counterparts? I'm angry because this young man, he was a good-looking young man. For all accounts, for all accounts, he was a good young man. You know, as they would say, Zeus, he was one of the good ones.
That's to blagga, that's an insult. You know that?
Well, that's because they can't ever measure up to anything. So
thank you.
Everything's an insult. But he had his whole life ahead of him. Now, I think I heard you say something yesterday about maybe it was you or someone else. About him not truly knowing better because of his age. He grew up with these young men. He grew up with them. And you are a product of your own environment, right?
Yeah, to a degree. Yeah.
To a degree, you're a product of your own environment. And if this is the environment that he grew up in, he thought these people were his friends. But like the young lady that you played in the clip, like we said, we have to be careful who we choose as our friends. And it's sad that in 2026, we got to think about taking something on our persons for self-defense. That's the sad.
W's in the chat for Nutty. Nutty. It is to me very unfortunate. It is very, very sad, but it's a reality, right? I guess my question is, do you think that when you say that his friend, these were his friends, what advice do you think parents should be giving to their young children, especially in high school? Because you want to be friends with everybody. It shouldn't be about race. It shouldn't. But what are we saying? What do we do?
Zeus, here's our reality. Here's our reality. Our reality is that we have to teach our children. And I'm a father. We have to teach our children that all that glitters isn't gold. We have to teach our kids to always keep their heads on a swivel. Even when it's people that they think or believe they can trust, never trust. Trust but verify. That's what I grew up hearing. Trust but verify. And it's a shame that we have to teach our children this, and everyone else can have their kids grow up as kids and be carefree, you know?
Yeah.
But yet we have to constantly warn our children, don't do this, don't do this. We tell them not to do so many things that they're like, what can I do? They're wondering, what in the hell can we do? Because we're told we can't do so many things. But we're in the land of the free and the home of the brave, right?
Yeah. It ain't free. It ain't brave. Not for you. So let's just get that out there. Stay away from, like I say, Nutty, you got to be straight up. Hey, where are you going? Oh, I'm going to Horn Island. With who? And those guys. If you don't sit your behind down and find you a book to read, you better be filling out some applications for college. You got to say it to them like that. They might hate you for it, but they'll thank you later.
They'll be angry with you in the moment, but at least they'll be alive to be angry.
Thank you. W's in the chat for that. Am I right, Kiki? You can't risk it. Unfortunately, because Donald Trump, and this is why I make it about politics, do you think this is happening a lot more frequently as a result of Donald Trump and the MAGA?
100%. Zeus, I am 52 years old. I am 52. And in my 52 years, I have never, ever heard of so many of us, people who look like us, being found swinging from a tree. That's stuff that I got taught about in the home. That's stuff that my grandparents told me about because they saw that stuff growing up. My grandfather was born in 1928. My grandmother was born in 1932. We heard about these things because they taught us. We didn't get taught that stuff in school.
I got flagged for hate speech.
TikTok, how is this hate speech? This is our freaking life.
They always get me.
This is our life. I don't understand how that's hate speech when we're talking about the realities of what we go through in this nation on a daily basis. This is what Black people go through. This is what other people of color go through, not just Black folks. But this is the reality of which we live. But yet we live in these united or divided states of America. And we're constantly told, oh, we can't go to this place because that place is dangerous. Don't go to, look what we've been told about North Korea our entire lives, right?
Yeah.
But which is more dangerous, North Korea or the United States?
For Black people, I'd say it's the United States, bro.
That is my point. The level of indoctrination that we all have been subjected to. This is why I will not allow my 8-year-old daughter to say the Pledge of Allegiance. This is why I will not allow her to stand up and put her hand over her heart. And for what? For a flag that don't even see her? A flag that don't even care about her? Absolutely not.
Wow.
Absolutely not.
W's in the
chat. I'm just grieved for his parents. No parent should have to bury their children. No one. I don't care what color you are. But Black folks have had to do it way too many times.
Wow.
And it's a shame.
Thank you. That's great news, great information. Thank you, Nutty.
Can I switch for the last 10 seconds?
Yeah. You're gonna speak on Graham Plattner?
Well, I think Ange told us everything we needed to know several months ago.
True.
Several months ago, I remember being on this live and in Ange's live, and we were talking about Graham before he became the Democratic nominee.
We were.
The fact is that the people of Maine, you still have an option. It is not the most convenient option, but you still have an option to write in Janet Mills. You still have that option to write her in. Either you're going to write her in or you're going to get Susan Collins yet again. And quite honestly, Zeus, I don't care who comes after me. Quite honestly, I would rather Susan Collins stay in that seat instead of a white supremacist like Graham Plattner. It's not about politics.
That's nutty. Wow.
It's not about politics. Look what's happening to people who look like us. At least Susan Collins does not appear to be a white supremacist. She doesn't have a tattoo on her chest of white supremacy.
Wow.
And they knew this, and they still voted for that mess.
Wow.
They still voted for that
I'm
mess.
flabbergasted.
I don't care how many times she changes her mind. I don't care how many times she flip-flops. She is not a white supremacist.
W's in the chat for Nutty.
Woo!
I tell you, every time I think the live is going to be, on the rails, it goes off the rails. But W's in the chat for Nutty. I didn't see that coming.
My heart is truly hurting for this young man, dude.
Yeah.
That could be my son.
Yeah.
It's at our doorstep. Because now I'm seeing his face, and I'm seeing the face of my son.
Lord help us.
No parent should have to go through that.
Yeah.
But anyway, in closing, I want to talk about Mitch the Glitch. Listen, none of us want anything bad to happen to any human being except Donald Trump. That's just me saying it right now, because I don't care what happens to Donald Trump. I don't care if he gets hit by a truck. I don't care. In fact, I will be in the streets dancing if he did. But I hope that they are telling the truth, which I know they are not. That I know they are not. This man stole 2 Supreme Court seats. He stole 2 Supreme Court seats. We have to realize the evil behind this man.
True.
The evil behind this man. His whole entire goal, and he said this with his own mouth, was to make Barack Hussein Obama a one-term president.
Racist.
He said that with his own mouth. He didn't succeed in that, but they made Barack Obama's tenure a living hell. But what did Barack Hussein Obama, and I'm using Hussein because I know it triggers them.
Yeah. You ever heard of him?
What did Barack Hussein Obama do? He succeeded anyhow. And that's why we're getting the level of hate that we're getting, because no matter what they threw at this black man,
wow,
he still overcame.
Amen. That's right. W's in the chat for Obama.
And no matter what they throw at us as a people, we will overcome it.
Amen.
You can beat us, you can murder us, you can rape us, you can do all the things, but we will overcome it.
Okay, you got to that
Look
part.
Look what our ancestors did. They overcame it.
I took that a certain type of way with the way it came out, but don't do it. Don't do any of those things he listed, but I get what you were saying. I get what you were saying.
Wrong. Zeus, we are not our ancestors.
That part.
We are not our ancestors.
Don't try it.
We are not our ancestors. So, warning, this is your warning. It's going to come before destruction. You come at us the wrong way, you're going to get dealt with the right way.
Amen.
And by any means necessary.
Charged. He's charged up today. Get him.
By any means necessary, I will lay you down before you get a chance to lay me down.
Oh. W's in the chat for Nutty. And that's, he's saying that out of self-defense in case some of you are getting a little concerned out there and saying he's promoting something. No, that's self-defense talk.
They can say whatever the hell they want at this point because it doesn't even matter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They can say whatever the hell they want.
Wow, Nutty's on fire.
We continuously see our black and brown babies and people who look like us being sent to an early grave. At this point, I don't give a damn what they think. I don't care.
Wow. Thank you.
I don't care about TikTok. You can violate me till the cows come home. You're not going to silence me.
W's in the chat for
Stop with this.
Dang, wow.
And I need everyone else that do not look like us. I need you all to speak up, stand up, and do something because there's only so many of us. And when they run out of victimizing us, then they're going to come after you. And then there's not going to be anyone left to defend you.
Facts. Now that's facts too. W sit in the chat for Nutty.
That's it, Zeus. I'm done.
Thank you.
May this young man rest in peace. May his family find the strength that they need to get through these upcoming days that they're going to be going through. Nothing but love, prayers, and respect to them. Y'all have a good day.
All right, absolutely, and I 100% on that. You see, TikTok, I don't know why you wanted to say this was a bunch of hate on this platform. These are real conversations, and it's being had in love. It's very difficult to have, but we got to have these conversations in order to get the country back on track. We do. And I honestly appreciate all of you who are just listening and chiming in the comment section and doing what you can to support the platform. It really does mean a lot. Thank you for tapping the screen and sharing the live and keeping the engagement up, because that's what we need. These are very difficult topics that need to be talked about, but they need to be talked about because guess what? This is what's happening in America. Good morning, Kabira. How are you doing, sis?
Good morning, Zeus. How are you? How's the kingdom?
Hey, we're doing great now that you're here.
Yeah, I was chiming in when you first came on, but my brother, he took me to the park so I could, do a little walking with my walker.
Yeah.
My therapist wants me to walk 20 minutes a day, 3 times a day outside of doing some leg exercises. So outside of walking on my property, I told him, take me to the park so I can walk on some concrete.
Okay, brother doing his job. Good job, bro. Yeah. All right, that's what I like to hear. Taking care of business, taking care of the family, taking care of the sister.
Yeah, but I wanted to chime in on 2 things. Prattner, you know what? The lady that Jake Topper interviewed yesterday,
yeah,
I believe her 100%. And so Plattner has to go.
Thank you.
It was something it was something about her credibility.
Yeah.
The way she spoke. She was a matter of fact. The other lady, the door unlocked, not unlocked. He was drunk and slept with him. He woke up, It's just like, oh, no, that's not going to fly with me. And the next thing is this, and I'm going to drop after that.
Yeah.
Nutty said it, and I hear a lot of, and I used to say it when I was younger. We're not our ancestors, right?
Right.
If you think about it, and I want everybody to understand the clear context I'm saying it in, we should be proud of our ancestors because they put up with a lot. We could have fallen by the way of the Native American.
True.
You realize how strong you had to be to watch your slave master take your child from you and sell him to work you every day out of the week. Or grape your wife, or buck break your husband.
Wow.
We know what I mean by buck break.
I know what that is, yeah.
You know what I mean?
These are terms we talk about quite a bit.
To watch him get whipped, and it was nothing you could do about it.
Wow.
Nothing you could do about it. Though our ancestors were some strong people. Yeah, they had to step and fetch and huck and buck, but they did it, and look where we are today. Just to survive, look where we are today.
Wow.
Now, it may not be the optimum, because the man, and not all of the Caucasian persuasion is like that.
Right.
Let's get that straight.
That's true.
But a lot of them, they don't, if they could put us back in chains, they would do so. One guy was saying something about, slavery. No, but chattel slavery was completely different. I get so sick of these people, these Irishmen and Greeks and everything else. Oh, we were slaves too. No, you were indentured servants. You worked off your debt.
Yeah.
You, after so long, you got to go home to your family. You got paid. You got everything. You weren't dehumanized.
Facts.
You weren't considered less of a human.
Facts.
3/5 of a human.
Facts. No lies detected.
You didn't have a brain. You had no feeling. Even when I was in the hospital, Zeus, I'm getting fired up.
Yeah.
My brother got fired up.
Yeah.
He said, if you were a white person, they wouldn't be putting you through this. They would make sure you have that, and they still treat us. We're not equal in terms of the medical services that we get because they think we can tolerate more pain.
Or you're gonna do something, or you're gonna do something with the medicine, right? You know how they put that on you.
Yeah. You know how they put that. Yet most of them are the ones running out getting no.
Yeah.
But be that as it may, I'm gonna have to take that back. You're right. We're not
I think
stronger than what
we're losing you. I think I'm losing you. I think we're losing you. But I caught what you said.
Yeah, you are.
You're stronger. We're not our ancestors, but our ancestors, they were very, very strong, and we're also very strong too. I think that's what I heard you saying, right?
Yes, sir.
All righty.
Well, can you hear me now,
Now I can hear you.
Okay, yeah, I was going through a dead zone. I'm out in the boondocks where I live. It's the boondocks, so the Wi-Fi is kind of sketchy.
Gotcha.
But we aren't as strong as they are. We cry and complain and whine and whine. We want these folks to love us, and man, bump all of that.
You did bump all of that.
Yeah, they, it is what it is. It just is what it is, dude.
Thank you.
Like I said, you got your cool Caucasian people, that's going to be right there by your side. Because, it took them with us in the civil rights movement.
Amen.
You know what I mean?
Yep. That's why I don't get why they come out and they say it's the white liberal woman, and I'm going, I've never seen a white liberal woman do what they've done, like you were saying, the buck breaking and all the essaying that was going on during the slavery times. And I got to be careful with TikTok, but you know who the suspect was. So
my brother want to chime in. He got to say something.
What's going on, bro?
Hey Zeus, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Man, just doing the do.
All right.
But when you hear black folks say, "Well, it was a liberal this and liberal that," listen, I'm old enough to remember when you had white people talking that I don't want my kids going to school with no little N-word kids. You understand what I'm saying?
Wow.
That wasn't liberal people. Those were conservative white people. They were conservative. They were the type of people that voted for Nixon back in the 1960s against Kennedy.
Wow.
They're the type of people that voted for Nixon against Humphrey in 1968.
Oh.
I remember all of that stuff.
Oh.
So when I hear a lot of this stuff, the ignorance of a lot of Americans, black, white, Asian, Hispanic, whatever, and they don't know their own history in this country. More liberal white people throughout these 400 years have been fighting to help black people have a better life. It was the conservative whites. And it's always been conservative people in America. Every time America is trying to step forward or take a forward leap, it has always been conservative people that have put up a wall and said no. And that's in anything. I don't care whether you were gay. It was conservative people who were talking about we can't have these people around here. And when it comes to transgender, it's conservative people who said it isn't liberal-minded people.
Facts.
Conservative people in this country are the ones that are actually ruining this country.
Amen.
They're stupid. They voted for Trump. They make me sick.
Amen.
They're, as far as human beings go, they are actually less than human because they don't know how to. They're so afraid of other people different than them. They don't know how to get along and really work with people. And that's what irritates me. And it's just a shame because I get an argument with my mother. She's 94. And she says, well, things are better now. I said, yeah, things were better now than they were in 1930, 1940. You know, she was around when the black people had to ride the back of the bus and they couldn't look a white person in the eye. Had to be saying, yes, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, all this BS.
Wow.
But she was also around when black people were allowed to ride in the front seats of the bus. You know.
Wow.
So,
wow.
When we
Shout
go
out to
through
the
all
moms.
the stuff that people in the 1960s and 1970s and 80s and 90s, people have drawn back, and that's because the education in this country has been withdrawn, the quality of education, due to Ronald Reagan's education secretary, William Bennett. Back in the he wanted to flush the educational system in America down the drain.
Wow.
And that's just what they have done over these 45 or so years.
Wow.
And it's sickening to say, hell, you got even people don't even want to believe in science. They next thing I know, somebody be talking about, well, the stork brought my kid, like they used to do so many decades ago.
Wow. Wow.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
It is. But that's where this country is at in their mentality. You know.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I got to say
insane.
thank you, bro. You gave us a lot of good information, good news. I'm glad. And it's truth.
It's all true. Anybody can easily go. You can look at documentaries, historical documentaries of the 19 teens, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. And it's not just with black people. I'll never forget. Back in 2008, I was watching a program, a PBS program. I was living in LA.
Yeah.
And they were talking about this Pacific Islander guy living in Hawaii in 1920s Hawaii. He was a worker.
Yeah.
It was a white woman. She was married. She was having an affair with another white guy. But somehow she got caught. So instead of fessing up and saying, hey, I was having sex with Joe Blow, she went and told her husband that she was having sex with this specific Islander guy. And that man got his friends, and they were in such a outrage, they went and got the man and they strung him up. They didn't find out until after the full investigation, about a month or two later.
Wow.
That wasn't the guy. And she had lied.
Careful.
So you have to be careful. Black people, black Americans, foundational black people, Afro-Americans, as Malcolm X used to call us, or whatever we call ourselves.
Yeah.
Watch out. Don't be so friendly with white people. Hear me? Don't be so friendly with white people. That doesn't mean that every white person is bad, obviously.
Yeah.
Not.
I hear what you're saying. You come from, your knowledge and your history is very, very valuable. And it's just unfortunate that we're in this position as a country. We're in this situation. Huh.
Exactly. It's just a shame.
Yeah.
It's just a shame. Anyway.
All right.
You have a great day, brother.
All right. You and Kabir have a great day too. And thank you once again for tuning in and sharing with us. All right. Wow. Come on back. Please come on back. I love it when I hear knowledge, especially from our older black men out there. It really does mean a lot to me. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right. But you can leave the handsomeness and all of that stuff to Big Zeus. All right.
Well, I don't know yet. I might give you a run, brother.
Hey. Kavira, please talk to him. All right. But listen, y'all have a good rest of y'all morning. All right.
All right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! You see, you got that's what I was saying. You gotta keep your eyes and understand. There's brothers out there. They see what's happening up here. W's in the chat for Zeus, aka the Rizzler, Triple H. All right, thank you. Y'all cracked me up this morning. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, look at this. Oh, look at who we have. Okay. Oh, we got Kiki too. All right, come on up here, Jim. Good morning, the beautiful Jim.
Good morning, my friend. How are you?
I am doing great. I'm now good, especially now that you're here. How are you?
I'm doing okay. You know, this you had this morning and the one you had yesterday, I was listening in yesterday too, are very heavy topics. And you're absolutely right. These are the conversations we need to be having. These are the moments we need to be talking and preparing for. And it's time for the kingdom and all of us to have these conversations with our families as well, right? Yep. Because we've gotten too complacent, right? These are the moments that we need to talk about the dystopian living spaces that we are in right now. When our children walk out the door, it's never been more important to say, watch your surroundings, know who you're hanging with. Let me know where you're at. Let me know who you're with at all times. If you separate from that group and you're with someone else, text a message to someone and let them know as well. It's never been more important to put that locator on your phone. It's never been more important to teach your daughters about personal space and to be prepared for self-defense. It's never been more prepared to send them out into the world with something in their pocket and on their person. So if somebody gets handsy or if somebody tries to slip something in their drink, that they're with the proper people so that they're protected. Because this is more than just about race or sexism. It is about hate and fear permeating throughout our society with permission.
Wow.
Let me say that again. Hate and fear permeating throughout our society with permission from the federal government. Let me make this clear that this is the modern day purge. This is what they want you to do, is to be afraid and not stand up, to be afraid and not fight back, to be afraid and to just say, well, that's the way things are. No, this is me and Zeus and every other person telling you this is not how things are. This is not how things should be.
Tell them, Jim.
This is the time for us to recognize and to stand up and to unite to fight the alt-right. This is the time to say, no, we will not vote for Susan fucking Collins. Sorry for the F word. We will not vote for her because she may not have a Schnazi tattoo, but she votes lock, stock, and barrel with the damn white supremacist who's running the White House. So let's be very clear when we tell people that we are not going to sit down just because not me, because my conscience is clear. I called it out months and months ago that Graham Plattner was nothing more than your status quo white supremacist white male with a Schnazi tattoo who was a womanizer and an abuser. I said it. Ange said it. We all said it. Nobody listened. And I took flack from it in the progressive world. People came for me. So you know what? Let me just tell you, is this too soon to say I told you so? Because I'm telling you, you were wrong, we were right, and just because somebody throws around the word progressive when they don't have a history of voting, when they don't have a history of public service, when they don't have a history of legislation, when they don't have a law degree, when they don't have a political science degree, when they have nothing but the word progressive, guess what? They're not progressive. They're leading you by a leash to follow the status quo white male, and that's what you all did.
Oh, Jim. And
this is not the time to sit idly by.
Wow. We getting cooked. I mean, you're being honest with us, and that's why I say you're right, Jim. These are difficult conversations, and we all have to actually take accounting of what our role was in it in order to make sure we get it right going into that voting booth during midterms, because we cannot make the same mistake that MAGA has made. If we do, all of this has been a waste of our time and money. Right? I don't hear you, Jim.
Am I freezing or are you freezing?
Maybe it's both of us. It always has, but I can hear you. Someone wrote "Pass the Save Act."
Okay, part of it's.
Huh.
No, we won't be passing the Save Act ever. We'll be fighting against people like you. And for the guy who keeps asking what's a woman, it's the women that walk away from you in bars. That's a woman. It's the women that cover their drinks and get restraining orders.
Ooh,
it's your sister mother.
Cooked.
That's what a woman is. It's the ones that literally cross their legs and start sweating when you walk by because the hairs on the back of their neck stand up. That's what a woman is.
Woo! Get him, Jim. Get him.
It's the ones whose vaginas dry up.
I keep telling y'all to leave Jim alone. She's not like everyone else. She's gonna get you. She's gonna get you. Leave her alone. Just listen. I'm giving you a heads up. Sorry, Jim. I had to say that.
It's the ones that instantly go into menopause to give menopause because you came by. Yeah, that's what went on. So let's just talk about the situation. So for everybody who doesn't know, the Wells family, they've already gotten Ben Crump. They're not letting this go. They know their son was unalived. They are fighting back. They've already gotten a lawyer because these young white boys, and I'm going to call them young white boys, because we're going to start taking that word back too. So you guys can feel the degradation that you raised little twerps that cannot be men and stand up for their friends. So those of you that are staying silent and you know what happened to that young man, you know what happened to Nolan, you are the ones that better run scared. That's why you lawyered up before you even told his mama he was missing. You know something went down. And it's not just Nolan Wells. If you do a simple Google search, you will see countless numbers of young black men and women who have been harmed since this administration took office again. It is repeating itself because it is being allowed and it is permissible by the corrupt federal government under Donald Trump administration and the MAGA
Congress that has allowed him to run rimshot over the entire country.
Yeah.
They abdicated their co-equal branch of government. And until we vote them out, there's been nothing more important than the midterms right now to get these members of Congress out to progress our society forward. So if you are sitting idly by, if you are like, I'm a progressive and I can't vote for a centrist, you know what? You're the problem.
Thank you.
You are just as bad as MAGA. And you don't seem to understand that progressive is not a party. It is literally an ideology. You want to progress your nation forward? Then you better vote blue.
Amen.
So that we can renew the nation with honor and integrity and make law and order part of our society to arrest these people committing crimes, not only here at home, but abroad, where they're being boom booms in other countries, threatening our allies. He's literally in Europe threatening our allies as we speak. And you guys are sitting there going, I don't know what the big deal is. The big deal is that human lives are costing us.
Amen.
And it's going to be our sons and daughters that go to war, our children that are sent abroad to fight these wars that he said was going to stop. So you want to care about your society, you want to care about your children. Now's the time to have a family meeting. Now's the time to sit down and say, every time you walk out this door, I need to know where you are.
Thank you.
I need to know who you are with.
Thank
I
you.
need your location on your phone. I need you to tell me if you leave that party and go to another party, because young men and women are missing in this country.
W's in the chat for the beautiful Jim. Somebody that you seem to have activated, I'm going to give you a chance if you want to. They said you need to do something about your TDS. What do you say to that demon, Jim? Because they really should have not typed that in the comment section.
TDS? I need to talk about my
I've
TDS?
asked Michael. I've said, Michael,
well,
stop
I
saying
am
that.
doing something about Trump's. I am doing something about my TDS. It's called dealing with Trump's delusional supporters.
Ooh.
It's about dealing with Trump's dumb supporters.
Oh.
It's about dealing with Trump's D suckers. Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Goodbye, Michael.
Yeah.
Maybe you
there
should keep
go.
it. Don't do that again.
Yeah, let me tell
Told you
you,
to leave her
I'm
alone.
not the one that's a jockstrap, my friend. You are. Trump supporters are jockstraps.
Woo! I don't know how you do it, Jim, but you're really up there. You're really up there. Wow.
I'm very upset. I'm very upset. I don't know how anybody can sit idly by and listen to what's happening in this country and not take it seriously. If you call yourself a patriot, nothing you're witnessing under this administration is patriotism.
Right.
If you call yourself an American citizen that believes in the Constitution of the United States, if you are a veteran and you were sitting idly by thinking that you supported the right people, if you are FBA and you voted for Trump, you are the problem, because you're literally voting for the people taking away your rights. And I say this every day in my lives.
You do.
We need to be fighting for civil rights, human rights, women's rights, educational rights, and a belief in science and math.
Amen.
They are literally dumbing down our society. They are making the children the laborers. They're harming women, and they are harming our BIPOC community. And if you do not understand that by now, then there's something absolutely broken within who you are as an American citizen, and simply put, as a human being.
Bingo. Bingo, bingo, bingo.
I mean, the food supply. Let's talk about the food supply real quick. There is a literal parasite in our food supply right now. Not just one. There's the screwworm, and then there's the other one.
There's
Somebody
another
can
one?
write it in the comment
There's
section. I think
another
Dr.
one?
Keith is in here. Yes, there's another one. It's literally hitting 17 of our states. And it's
Really?
in our food supply, making us very, very, very sick right now. Thank you, Laura Unfiltered.
Can we pin that? Can we pin
Cyclosporiasis.
that?
That's what it's called.
Someone pin it. I didn't see it.
Cyclosporiasis. So I want everybody to start researching it, because this is what happens when you deregulate and you pull back all of the science. This is what happens. It causes people to get explosive diarrhea, vomiting, and dehydration. So I want everybody to start understanding that when you start deregulating and start telling people to not listen to science and telling people to not believe in vaccines and telling people this, they are trying to unalive you. They are trying to get you at your food source now. They are allowing screwworms into your beef products. They are allowing cyclospores to not be caught because they fired all of the people who would be researching it in the FDA to ensure that your children have safe food supplies. But hey, what science, right?
Yeah.
I literally was in a aquatic therapy the other day, and this woman was telling me that she's not vaccinated for COVID. She has 10 kids. 10 kids. This is a white woman.
Oh,
okay?
I was about to ask you too. I was about to ask her too. I was going to say, what nationality?
I knew you were.
What nationality?
White woman.
Wow.
She's a white woman with 10 kids, ages 1 to 24, and none of her kids are vaccinated for COVID-19. And she's looking at me and she goes, and what you hear now is exactly how I sounded in the pool. And I'm just going to tell you, I looked at her and I said, oh, you're the super spreader.
Oh.
You are the person that spreads it to your entire community. You're the person in your Petri dishes that walk around with your 10 kids and spread it to 18 other people at a time. Because that's who you are. You are the person that literally creates the Petri dish of bacteria that takes your children to school that then gives it to every other child. I don't want to hear nothing. You know, this woman looked me dead in my face. She goes, well, I've had it 7 times and I'm still here. Yeah. Yep, you are. But guess what it knows? COVID knows that it can live in your disgusting Petri dish body. It knows it can live there now. And the next time it mutates, it's going to take up residence and you're not going to be so lucky.
Lord have mercy.
And this is the thing, folks. Know who you're spending time around, because I will tell you, a teacher from the other side of the pool screamed across to me and she goes, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We need to be telling these people to their face that they are the problem with society. She goes, I was a school teacher during COVID. I watched kids get sicker and sicker and sicker because nobody was telling people to get vaccinated. They were believing that it was nothing. For those of you who still believe it's nothing, I want you to go to the Officer Down Memorial page. Officer Down Memorial page, odmp.org. I want you to go look at the number of losses of life to law enforcement in every category, every single category. It's COVID-19. Since 2020, the largest loss of life in the line of duty is COVID-19 because they politicized it. I'm going to tell you right now, bacteria, viruses, parasites, they don't care who they vote for. They care that they can reside in your body and do harm and unalive you. That's all they want, is for you to be the host that carries them to the next healthy body.
Wow.
So good luck to you, for those of you who are anti-vaxxers. And I want to remind you that the reason we live till 80s now is because of medical science. It's because we vaccinate. Otherwise, you would have been dead at 35 and 40.
Wow. Wow.
On that note, I'm going to drop. It's been a wonderful day. I needed to purge that.
You got it. You did a great W.
I love you guys.
Love you too.
I'm going to go live at 9 o'clock. I appreciate everything that you do, and keep fighting the good fight. And please have a family meeting. Please talk to your children. Remind them to let them know where you are. Let you know where they are. Tell them there's never been a more important time. And if you have to show them the real stories, stop hiding it, guys. Stop hiding it and believe women when they say they've been attacked. Do the full investigation. That's another thing yesterday that was very upsetting to me, is hearing people attack the women. And I'm going to tell you, if you Google it, it's very rare that women do false reporting, because it is a crime to false report a sexual assault. And if you do not believe that, Google it yourself. Because I'm telling you right now, when Joe Biden was accused by Tara Reade, did he say it was a witch hunt?
No.
No. What did he say? He said, we hear all women out and we investigate. Give her the investigation. And what did Tara Reade do? There was one of your false reports right there. She took off and went to Russia because she was in love with Putin. True story. Still lives in Russia to this day with Maria, the spy that the Republicans allowed into the NRA.
Oh.
Don't believe me? Google it yourself.
There you go, W, Jim.
Deuces.
Thank you. Yeah.
Bye.
Later, lovely, beautiful Jim, ladies and gentlemen.
Later.
As you can see, we have discussions, ladies and gentlemen, on this show, ladies and gentlemen. Trust me, W's in the chat. Oh my goodness. I thought where was Kiki at? Okay, there you go. There you go. Okay, well, moving it along. Cooking and booking. Let's see. Who do we have? Good morning, Dr. Keisha. You said you needed to come up here.
Hey.
Hey.
Happy, what is it, Wednesday? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, today is Wednesday. How are you?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, good. Yes, I can.
Let's go.
Excellent. Thank you, y'all. Yes, get vaccinated. We did a whole series on the return of preventable illnesses that came out because of this. But I want you guys to understand this parasite has actually been in the food system for many, many years. The only host, I want to clarify that. I put it in my newsletter from the Medical Collector that comes out. I implore you guys to read this, please, because we're getting a lot of words mixed up and a lot of things confused. And I don't expect you to. This is why I put this out and spend the time to do it as a physician. Cyclosporiasis is the name of the disease. Cyclospora is the parasite. Cyclospora is the parasite. It is a parasite that comes out every spring and May and has been coming out. Normally, for instance, the area that we're seeing the uptick right now, it usually gets 50 cases a year. Now they have 300 cases. So the amount that we normally see has increased. Not that this is new. It's been in the food supply. And unfortunately, those of us that are healthy that eat berries and greens, it attaches to it. But the difference is when you get E. coli and you get sick real fast, like from that potato salad with raisins in it or whatever it is.
Oh, yeah, they cooked it in the kitchen, the same kitchen that the dog eats off the plates in. Yeah.
Right. So that goes in and affects your colon and you get this acute diarrhea, sometimes bloody because the toxin causes it, but it goes away. Cyclospora is a parasite, and there's 3 parasites like that, Cryptospora and Isospora, and they attach to the small intestine, and that's where a lot of your absorption of your nutrients happens in the small intestine, and it gets to stay there.
Wow.
So the problem with why it's hard to detect it is 3 things. And check out my post, y'all. I break all this down. I'm giving to you guys this for free because I don't see y'all in my live spaces. It attaches to the small intestine and it prevents absorption. So you get diarrhea over sometimes weeks to months, and it can have a delayed onset of symptoms of 2 weeks.
Jeez.
Unlike the other ones. That's why it's hard. When you get the produce, you don't remember 2 weeks ago where you got it from. So it has a delayed onset of symptoms.
And you never know where you got it from, it sounds like.
You never know, right? And with produce, it's picked up so fast. So the problem with what's the cyclospora we're having now is there's multiple locations. They don't believe it's one produce. Yeah, they can't find it because it's all over. We got it in Texas.
Do we know what states the cases are going up in? Or is it, you know what I'm saying? Or is it just all over the place?
It's all over the place. There's multiple states, but I'm posting it today. So check my post. Y'all got to start supporting and reading, and you'll find out what states.
Wow.
And I go live on Wednesdays in the evening time, so I'll talk about it in depth, and I'm going to show you the pictures of it. And also another issue why, yes, fresh fruits bounce. Another thing is that
fresh fruits. Come on, now that's the thing you go and get to try to stay healthy. You just told me to
don't
put the
you guys
bacon
make
away.
an excuse. Right? Just don't make an excuse to say you're not going to have fresh fruits anymore. Also, regular washing does not get it off of it.
What if you wash it with baking soda? Some people I know do that.
Yeah, but even that, this has been the problem with it. It's usually boiling it because it's a cyst. This is another thing. The life cycle. It has a life cycle. It's a parasite. It's just like a bacteria where the bacteria sticks to the food and you ingest it. It's a microcyst. It's like a shell. Think about it like an egg. It attaches to the fruit. And you ingest the cyst, and the cyst can withstand the normal things that we think rinsing fruit off will do. Boiling it, actually.
So the baking soda, washing the fruits with the baking soda and dish soap combo, does it work?
I'm looking up that in the microbiology.
Someone said they use vinegar too. I mean, you know how these, we got some
of that
Negro
even is not
spirituals.
100%. Yeah, the vinegar and the baking soda necessarily from cyclospora.
Yeah.
Cyclospora is different. Is different because it's a cyst that is attached to the fruit.
Peroxide. Someone wrote peroxide. Yep.
I mean,
Be
listen. By the
careful.
time you do
Be
that,
careful
be
out there. I'm
careful
just
with that
throwing out
one.
stuff that I've heard people and seen people do. And I say, why
Yeah.
do you do that? And they say things. And so I'm wondering, they wash the fruit. They say, don't eat the fruit when it comes out of the grocery store. Because, in the grocery store, they do spray water and stuff on it, but you don't know what's in that water. So I'm wondering.
You don't know what's in the water. But here's one more thing. The reason why, if you go to the doctor and you've had diarrhea for ongoing days to weeks, it's probably not the traditional bacteria or virus. It could be a parasite. There's several parasites you're traveling that do this. Giardia is another one that will stay in your body for years, for months. So what you do is, if the testing, they say you're testing,
Yeah.
which they're going to take some of your feces. If they say it's negative, the traditional ovum parasites that we do in the lab does not detect cyclospora. So this is what the story normally is that people had a negative, quote, test. And it's not that the test didn't work. The test does not. It's a special test that has to be done for this. But I'll talk about all this and it'll be in my post.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you
Thank
please
you.
follow Dr. Keisha and Dr. Kiefer, always being flexible and coming up here because you're very professional at what you do. And I'm always learning a lot from you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, follow Dr. Keisha, the Medical Collective.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
And you answered some of my questions because, like I said, I know a lot of folks who run around with I think it's the baking soda and the vinegar combo and drinking a bunch of tea and stuff like that. And they say, oh, yeah, this will take care of that. So it's always nice to bounce some of that stuff off with you. And I know you're just doing it on social media. And you always, what is that? You always say, check with your doctor or something like that. How does that go?
I always tell you, I mean, you should have a healthcare team, everybody,
Yeah.
even a therapist. I'm with that. If you don't know how to work out, you need to have a trainer to get you started. You need to have a dietitian if you have problems with, eating, or you have sprue or things like that. You should have a healthcare team, but and a chiropractor is an adjunct. It's not a replacement for a primary care physician. Let me just say that.
Speak on it. W's in the chat for Dr. Keisha.
Yeah, but I don't know if you guys, the whole political thing that's going on, there's a lot of stuff that's being short down. And actually, in 2019, there was a cyclospora committee that was put together. A cyclospora committee. So this is before the pandemic.
Yeah.
And because of the FDA and the funding, they said they're working on it. I want y'all to know, after thousands of people were taken from their job in the FDA and CDC, this is probably why we're also seeing such a rise in cases, because they're not able to effectively contain this.
Wow.
So this is what happens when what'd you say?
There's no treatment for it?
Oh, Bactrim. Bactrim is a treatment for it, but it's getting to the diagnosis, right?
Got it. And okay, well, Bactrim. And what is Bactrim? How do you take that? Is it a
It's an oral pill, but you got to go to your doctor to get it. It is by script.
Okay, fair enough. All right. Well,
thank you, Alicia. I know, Alicia, I don't know. The medical stuff it makes people fall asleep, but I'll tell you, one day you're going to need our conversations. You're going to need it, and correctly, from a medical professional, because a lot of stuff, you see the nuance. There's a lot of nuance to it that you won't get from these headline articles you're reading.
Facts.
All right, take care.
But I'll say this. One time when I was doing the Love Guru stuff, I'll tell you, because you said something about how it's boring. I did a live, and I said, I'm going to teach these people what toxic calculus is. And so, because these people didn't know what being toxic was. And I literally brought together, a presentation of like math and stuff like that. Do you know I put every single person to sleep?
They don't want to hear it, but you know what?
If
you do that Love Guru stuff, you might do well over on the. It's called Noom, and it ends with the vibe, because they love that stuff. 500, 1,000 people, and Dr. Rael reminds me of you. We might have to do a three-way conversation on this. A triple conversation. Don't take it out of context.
That triple. I'm about
because he's a relationship scientist, and that place is better. Over here, he gets confused. But the conversation is so rich when you talk about relationships and the science of it and health.
Oh, I could do that. Yeah. That's easy work for me because I'm a healthy person. I'm the Love Guru. So
you want your person to be healthy too, right?
Absolutely. We got to have standards in a relationship, because the main thing I preach is you got to be a lovable person. And I can tell you love yourself by the way you take care of yourself, right? And so, with that being said, we got to practice good eating habits. We got to practice good staying healthy. I mean, these are just things that I would advise and recommend. You know what I'm saying, Doc?
Yep.
Okay, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I love that. Oh, by the way, one more thing I wanted to correct. The screwworm is not a foodborne illness. That's actually a fly. And I hate the word maggots. I'm a pathologist, but one thing I can't stand are those things, maggots. Ugh. So it basically is like that. Most flies, it's someone unalives or an animal unalives and it attaches to it. The screwworm doesn't wait for it to unalive. It feeds on its host while it's living. So that's the problem
Oh, that's
that's
gross.
happening with the cows.
That's gross.
Mhm.
That's gross, Doc. Okay, Doc, W's in the chat.
All right. Bye.
Thank you so much. Wow. You
Bye.
always teach us so much. But yeah, maybe we'll do some Love Guru stuff and mix it with the health. And next thing you know, you pull a rabbit out of the hat and you got Big Zeus Triple H.
That's funny. That sounds good. Though. All right, you take care of this.
All right. W's in the chat. Dr. Keisha Davis. Follow Dr. Keisha Davis. And I better get, Doc, please keep track of those who actually go over there and listen to you and give me their names so that I can give them a reward. All right, because then I'm going to know who the bad ones are, and we'll take care of the bad ones, so to speak. So yeah, y'all better get over there and practice loving yourselves with Dr. Keisha. I mean that, because I don't want you to be unhealthy. I don't want you to be unhealthy. All right, yeah. I mean, oh my. Okay, here we go. I knew he was gonna get a Kiki. Good morning, Kiki. I thought you was ducking me for a second. Where'd you go?
I had to do something, Zoe, so I had to drop. I won't be but a second.
Okay.
Get away from me, for real. Stop playing with me. Go back there. Thank you. There's a saying that says you keep your friends close and your enemies closer. I never adhered to that, Zeus, because the closer your enemies are, the quicker they can get to you to cause you danger. That's number one.
Go ahead.
And this is just, I'm gonna talk from my flesh right quick. But had that had been my child, I would have not been the only parent that would have been sick, sad, slow walking in a black dress down the aisle of a church to view a body, cry in a handkerchief, and eat green beans and chicken at a repast. Because the same hurt that your kids cause me would be the same hurt you would feel from the loss of your children as well. It's time out for us overlooking these people taking our children and still smiling in their children's face every day.
Cooked.
It's getting out of hand. And like I said, Zeus, I'm talking from the flesh right now. As a parent with 2 sons, there is no way you left with my child and then come back with my child. When you came back without my child, the morning your mama woke up, she wouldn't have had her child.
Did I hear that correctly? Kiki,
you heard exactly what I said, Zeus.
How many of y'all feel
They're
that way?
getting away with taking our children. They're putting our children in jail for defending themselves. And it's getting sickening, Zeus.
Wow.
I'm tired of living in the past in the future. I'm tired of living in the past in the present. I am sick of the way our children are being treated in this so-called land of equal opportunity. Where is the equal opportunity? Where is the equal? Where is all are created? They want to say in a nation under God. No, we're not a nation under God.
Preach.
Because there is nothing godly about this nation.
Amen. Go ahead, Kiki. Aviator. It's like you said something. So you're darned if you do, and you're darned
if you don't. Because you can't defend yourself, you go to jail. You can't be friends with people that don't look like you because you end up in the water. Now the police are saying they don't suspect no foul play. I know you don't, because he's black and this is Mississippi and the children that were involved are white.
And
That's
connected.
why
Yeah.
you don't suspect foul play, because it wasn't one of yours, it was one of ours. I don't care nothing about Mitch McConnell. If he gone, good riddance. That's just another demon we don't have to war against.
Ooh, Kiki on fire today. Is this
I
still
could care
is
less
this the flesh
about
still?
Mitch McConnell served no purpose for God's kingdom on this earth. He was part of Satan's spawn. He did everything he could to invoke his evil, and he is not doing anything good to lead people to Christ. Goodbye and good riddance, Mitch McConnell.
You still in the flesh, or is this spirit?
Listen, hey, it is what it is, Zeus. And I'm gonna say this last thing, and I'm gonna go. Yesterday, DJ proved that his mind is taken over by MAGA.
Oh.
You weren't listening to Vaughn, to
Val. Yeah.
You were hearing him, but you weren't listening.
Thank you.
And that's the problem.
Yeah.
Y'all hear, but y'all don't listen. Because that man didn't say nothing you say he said, DJ. You got in the box wanting to argue a point that Val never made.
Bingo.
And then you talked about how that was not the Patriot Front. Talking about something, it was suspect of the time. It was the 250 so-called freedom walk they were doing.
Thank you, Gil.
Y'all said it
caught
was
that.
Zeus,
You caught
they
it.
tried to say it was Antifa. Hasn't Antifa been labeled a terrorist group?
True. And
You mean the government gonna let the terrorist group march on Washington and they a terrorist group?
yeah.
Zeus?
And
These people don't
SPLC.
think.
And the
They don't
SPLC.
think.
Remember, they said the SPLC was paying the Triple K. So it can't be the SPLC. It can't be Antifa. Let's go down the list.
Zeus?
Who is it?
Zeus, these people's brains are fried more than bacon in an oven for breakfast. I cannot take DJ and the rest of MAGA serious. They said we don't like America. They say America is great, but Zeus, they wear hats that say make America great again. So how can it be great if you want to make it great again? They are ridiculous.
DJ just got
They are
cooked.
piss poor, pitiful, and I'm sick of all of them. I'm sick of the president on down.
Yes. Hallelujah. Get him, Kiki.
Now I'm done.
All right. Wow.
I'm done, Zeus.
Yeah.
I'm done with this. I'm done with these people.
Yeah.
I'm done with this racism.
Yeah.
I'm done with it all, Zeus.
Yeah.
I
Wow.
really am.
Wow. We
Now
feel
let me let Zoe say hey and be through with it.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
No, don't answer no more questions.
Okay.
That's all she can say was hey.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough.
All right, Zeus.
All right. Thank you, W's in the chat for Kiki. All right. She came up here. At
Have a
least she
great
let us
one.
know she was in the flesh this morning. All right. At least she let us know. So you got to respect it. All right. All right. There you go. W. Hold on. What the heck is that? Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. What in the world is this? No, I don't want to do any of that. Let's see. Moving it along, ladies and gentlemen. Moving it along. Oh my goodness. Good morning, Doc. How are you doing?
Okay, how you doing, Zeus?
I'm doing all right. How about you?
I'm good. What's up with the kingdom?
We're
Hey,
here.
y'all.
This is the backup account, huh? You must have been. Did you get into some
Yeah,
trouble?
this is my backup.
Did you?
Oh, yeah, this is my backup
Okay.
account.
Oh, you got into some
Because they
trouble?
be messing with me. They be messing with me bad, Zeus.
Yeah.
They be talking about I be harassing and
Oh,
bullying people.
You don't do
And
anything like
and
that.
it don't even be nobody there. I don't even understand
Yeah.
how that goes down.
Well, you know, they just giving you a little bit of a rough time because they know how you play. They know you don't play any games. So, but thank you. All right.
Yeah, it's hey Zeus. This situation with this young man
Yeah.
is really it's really messed up.
Talk to him.
You know, you know, we already divided from Trump,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And his white nationalist friends that marched on the 4th of July along with their slave catchers as their escorts, you know, but let that have been black folks
Yeah.
that did the same thing.
Exactly.
You know, it would have been, everybody would have been up in the air. You know, somebody got to get arrested. Oh, this got to stop. Oh, that has to stop.
Yeah.
Another thing, the young lady that was sitting on that bus train station, that is for the world to see. And she should not have had to deal with that. That's dirty and it's wrong.
Mm-hmm. Preach on it, Doc. Preach on it.
Now, for the three friends and the black boy. Listen, we got to teach our kids to have discernment. Okay? If you feel something that is not right, then something is not right. Trust your intuition on things.
Yeah.
Now, these young men evidently were supposed to have been friends or classmates from school.
Wow.
This young man was a football player.
Yeah.
And he was supposed to have been a good football player.
It's always the good ones, huh?
Right. A good football player with a future ahead of him.
Yeah.
Now, you have to think that, listen, there is some jealousy and envy there.
Yeah.
Just on that part.
Yeah, I know that. That's why I said earlier. I said they had, and then they said it was a young little white girl involved too.
And then the young white girl that was involved, they were angry because she wanted to be with him and not one of them. That also was the topping on the cake, because one of them wanted that white girl.
You think?
I think so.
Oh, you know so. Which
one? Listen. I got good insight.
Okay, talk to him.
I got good insight. Okay, when I tell you that girl wanted to be with Nolan.
Oh.
And she chose Nolan over them. That was an issue.
You can't do that. They don't like it
when the women do that.
They don't like it when they don't
like
their,
it when,
quote,
right.
It's not really theirs, but they're possessive individuals, so they think like that.
Right. So when they seen that, that like put the icing on the cake.
And see, that's where my mind goes to. I want to be wrong, Doc, but that's where my mind goes.
You're not wrong.
I'm the Rizzler, and I know I've made a lot of people feel that way. I know I've made a lot of people feel that way when you're the Rizzler. But they got to live with it. Yeah.
You can't, listen. You can't, as a black man, you with a group of white men and a white girl, an attractive white girl comes up and begins to talk to you.
In Mississippi.
And you already then seen this young lady. And you got intentions on confronting this young lady. But it just so happened she confronted the black one.
I want him.
I want him. So that was the tip of the icing. They already was going to do something to him. Period. It was already set up, far as I am concerned. Because they were already jealous of him having that status of, he's a great football player who might be going to the NFL.
He can have whatever he wants to.
He can have whatever he wants.
And we can't believe we're out here in Mississippi with this dude, and he's not respecting the pecking order. And I wanted her first, and now she's into him. She's, showing him all this attention.
Yep, attention. And you got other white people looking at that as well. You got to remember, they looking as well.
Oh, so the added pressure is, look at, we'll just give them random names, Brad, Chad, and, whoever his name is, John. And they're allowing that?
Yeah. And then you got the other people that surround him.
Do his mom and dad know?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
See, I go there. I go there. I go there with it. Yeah. And that's why I say to the young black men, you got to use your sixth, maybe even seventh sense. Because, see, I'll go back and say this, Doc. He should have known he was that guy you were just describing. And he should have seen her doing that. And he should have said, whoo, I need to get up out of here. This ain't going to go
Yeah.
down around me. This can't happen because I
Right.
know what it is. You got to have that extra gear to
Right.
go into mentally.
You have to have an extra discernment, and our young people
should have seen it.
don't have that. They don't have that. They have some discernment, but it's not the discernment that that you say,
Yeah.
oh no, I'm not gonna go.
Yeah.
I don't belong here.
Yeah, like I got a conservative woman always inviting Zeus. Why don't we come out and have coffee, and we'll get along. You all know them, Taurus, the Bears, and I said, you must not think I understand what type of country I live
Yeah.
in. Oh no,
Yeah.
because I know you can't keep your hands off of me if I go and sit down with you and you get a dose of the charm. Now I'm in trouble. Now I'm in trouble. How am I going to explain this to my family? How I ended up in this predicament? And I said, there's nothing I can say to them where they won't go, you didn't see this, you didn't see that. And so that being said, I leave it alone. All right. And that's a huge W, Zeus. I get a W and I don't even try anymore, Doc. It's really hard.
Yeah, I mean, you think about that. So for me, I had the conversation because my daughter is getting ready to get married. Now, my daughter went to the University of Toledo, and she hung out with white girls, and they partied, but she also hung out with other, black people as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I just had to remind her. And she say, Mom, I already know. And I know she knows now.
Yeah.
I know she knows now. And then my question is, listen, for my white folks, I don't see your white children going and spend a night with a group of black people. Do we see that? Do we see that?
I can't rule it out. I can't say I see it on the regular, but
No, we don't see that though. We don't see them allowing them to go to no party, and they the only white boy.
With Tyrone and who else we got?
We don't
out there?
see it.
Earl,
we don't because
Tyrone,
they don't
Earl.
do it. Because they don't. You know why they don't do it?
Why?
They don't do
Jamal.
it because
Why?
Because they know
What they know?
that they know
What they know?
what they would do if they were with one black person. Just like the young lady they invited over for a sleepover at night, and she ended up unalive. They don't do that. Not no one white person gonna be hanging out and partying and hunting and doing all of this stuff with just their one white friend. It don't go down like that. We don't see it because they don't allow their kids to do it. So with that said, we
Some
we
people
should
say
let
it does happen, though. Some people are saying it happens. I'm not saying it doesn't happen,
but it's rare. It's rare that it happens. You just don't see it like that.
I learned something today.
And we have to be very, very careful with our children in this climate and in this situation where we got patriot fronts marching up in Washington.
Yeah.
With police escorts getting all up on trains with one black woman sitting there, and here come all these white supremacist groups on that train.
Lord have mercy.
Furthermore, I have to mention this. Those boys sent that phone back to that mother. Right? They gave the phone back to the mother.
Yeah.
See, that couldn't be me. And listen, if you coming back and bringing my son's phone and you tell me I don't know where my son where you know your son is at, then guess what?
What's that?
They ain't going back.
That's the flesh talking, Doc. That's your flesh talking. Go ahead. But I
You know, yeah, that's the flesh. But that's how I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? You ain't gonna sit up and tell me and bring me my son's phone back and then gonna say you don't know where he at, but he left with you. You ain't going home neither then.
There you go.
Sorry.
There you go. Woo! All right, Doc. I didn't know we didn't carry it on this morning.
I mean, that ain't even, that's not how you gonna sit up and do that. And then other things. Why? Okay, you haven't heard his friends or anyone say, rest in peace.
Yeah.
Sent a message, rest in peace.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for your loss. Condolences. I love Nolan.
Yeah.
He was my friend. You ain't seen them post not a doggone thing.
Wow.
And they supposed to be his friend.
Lord have mercy. W's in the chat for Doc. Wow. Well,
that gives me straight up pause.
Yeah. Now I got to get up out of here, Doc. All right. I didn't realize we didn't carry it on, but thank you once again.
Woo! You welcome, Zeus. You welcome.
Thank you.
Oh, and for Prattner.
Yeah.
One more thing.
Go ahead.
Prattner. He should have been gone.
Yeah.
When he came on with that tattoo stuff. That was a red flag
Red
right
flag,
there.
Get him. Red flag Plattner. Go for it.
Then he sat up after they found out about 2 women and was asked, is there any more women that would be coming forward with any accusations of assault? He looked like a deer in headlights and said no. He knew he was lying. Now look at this crap here.
There you go. There you go. All right, Doc. W's in the chat for Doc. Thank you so much. All right.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome.
All right. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Big Zeus. I didn't realize we've carried on, and we've had some very, very interesting conversations, very tough and difficult ones. But at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure there's a kernel of truth in them that you can use and make it something you can use to become a better person. I got to get up out of here. I want to give a special thank you to all of you, all of the subscribers, gifters, moderators, and panelists. All right, July Love, you do it all. Thank you so much. I see you hit the Cash App, and anyone else. Kabira and all of you, you did an outstanding job. I really do appreciate it, especially to the mods too. What we're learning and what we're processing right now is some very, very difficult stuff, very, very challenging stuff. But I do hope, like I said, by the time you go into that voting booth, you'll do the right thing. All right. And on that note, I got to get up out of here, ladies and gentlemen. What a great show. Take care and stay safe. All right. And don't do anything I wouldn't do. All right.
What about body?
Let's go.
Yeah. What about body?
Have a great rest of your morning.
Hold the whole election night. Read the votes day to night.
July Love. Thank you. Powerful black woman. Thank you. Wow, July Love. Zena. We're gonna figure it out. Ooh, Kabira. Wow. W. Rick. W. Art. My brother Heaven. Miss Independent. Karma Heard. I see you. Wow, July. Wow. She fit. JD Cakes. Tomorrow is an abbreviated show, remember. Heaven, my brother. Audit today. Duran. Let's go. Tara. Thank you so much, cutie Unit. Happy birthday. Let's go. Mike. Tinker Man. JD Cakes. Uncle Rocker. Woo! Thank you, Ange. Wow, listen, you guys are gonna make me cry. Come on now. So kind. This is my favorite. Thank you, Ange. A6 Walker. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. You all are great show. You enjoyed the show. We talk about it all on this show, ladies and gentlemen. We have to. Love you as well, gorgeous. What about him? Remember that? All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm out of here. Have a great rest of your morning, and we'll see you tomorrow.